Hello. Welcome back to another edition of Hobby News Daily. I'm still Danny Black, but today I am joined by my friend Victor, who you can find at true_RCS everywhere on social, but not TikTok. What's going on, Victor?
Not too much, man. I'm glad to be here, man. I was excited. Any show that had Nat Turner on not but a few episodes ago, man. I mean, how do you not
Well,
jump on that?
he was your opening act. I was saving the big stuff. You know, I told Nat I could squeeze him in, but Victor, I got to hold the primetime spot for. Um, Dude, first of all, I want to tell you, I have so much respect for what you do in the hobby.
Thank you.
I don't know if I've ever told you off camera, but your dedication, your consistency, the work you put in, whether or not everybody understands it, or gets where you're coming from. I've learned a lot, and I appreciate everything you do for the hobby. So thank you.
I appreciate that, Danny. I've often said on my channel that I know my message can at times be a little harsh, but if you just give me a chance and hear me out, I think within a few episodes you can kind of see where my heart's coming from. My heart is more for the hobby, not for personal gain. My heart is more to bring lines of clarity within the hobby for the sake of the rookie card, and it's not so much. I know I'm not out to be liked or get likes and sponsors and all of that. So I know sometimes my message comes across that way, but it's more it's more about the good of the hobby.
I've always looked at what you do when you, and just to clarify for anybody who's not familiar, Victor clarifies rookie cards.
Yes.
To boil it down, and it's that might sound simple, but if you go through a 500,000, cards every year, the way the card companies put out cards and define them really leads to a lot of confusion. You have first cards, pre-rookie cards, rookie cards, on and on. And so, I think it's more of a catalog system. Is what the way I've always looked at it is an organizational system for cards, not telling people that they're buying the wrong card.
Yeah, and that's a good word that you use there, and that's I've established a system, right, and that system is basically made up of long time hobby standards that the hobby has had for decades, and that is guidelines on rookie cards. But it seems like as the years have evolved, those rookie card guidelines of old have been forsaken, and then we have the the guidelines that the Players Association gave in 2006, and they kind of dictated to the hobby certain expectations about the rookie card going forward. Well, that news of the PA was not received by the hobby either. I mean, industry didn't like it, the card manufacturers didn't like it, and certain hobbyists didn't like it. So again, it's one of them things, because we don't like it, because we don't agree. Those guidelines were forsaken, and so what we have is a chaos in establishing the rookie card. And I came back to the hobby in 2014, and I'm trying to figure things out, and nothing was making sense. It was just I go on eBay, and you have 5 years worth of cards. All of them are considered rookie cards,
Yeah.
and that's what inspired me to just start researching this thing.
What are your main categories? And I mentioned a couple real quick, as far as pre-rookie cards. How do you kind of, what's your system and
Yeah,
how do you define? Because I think it's really important that people hear the definition from you.
that's a good question. I basically I resurrected the rules of old, and I've kind of dusted them off, and I went through them, and and some of them were obsolete, some of them needed to be updated and brought into 2020, and then I infused those into the ones that the Players Association gave, and I've kind of created this system to where now I take the cards in question and I filter them through these guidelines, and then I classify them. So it's a two-step process. It's identification and then classification. And once I've identified the card, then I classify them into four categories: pre-rookies, true rookies, rookie year cards and post rookie theme.
Repeat those four because that's crucial.
Yeah, pre-rookie cards, which is going to be basically your prospect cards, right?
Yep.
True rookie card, which is the cards that actually have the RC logo on them for cards 2000 post 2006. And then you have rookie year cards, which I've deemed because this was the lines of clarity that I was searching for, because insert cards and subset cards have never been deemed rookie cards in the hobby up until here 2017 or so. And so those, I don't classify those as rookie cards. I classify those as rookie year cards. And then post rookie theme are cards that come out after a player's debut season, but sometimes the element, the design element of the card says rookie or prospect, and it kind of confuses people when it's really a second year card or a third year card, but
Gotcha.
it has an element designed to it that signifies rookie, but they're truly not.
Hypothetical example: somebody is missed in a set, and they end up coming up and becoming a rookie. So their first card is really coming out in their second season. I assume that happens a lot with prospects.
Yeah,
And stuff.
unfortunately, and that's happened a lot here lately,
Is
and
that
it's
what
an
you're talking about with the players' union changing some of the rules on how many games and what qualifies as a rookie?
well, if we stayed true to what the Players Association said, they would be making cards of a player in their debut season. However, we're not doing that. Card manufacturers, let's just call it what it is. Tops is making cards of players. Ellie De La Cruz, who played almost an entire season in 2023, he exceeded rookie limits in 2023. Yet we want to hold off and putting them in 2024 product as a rookie card, and that to me is an injustice that nobody can really do anything about because they hold all the cards, pun intended.
I love
But
you.
but but they're doing that more and more here within the last few years, and they're holding these guys till the following year so they can include them in all the product instead of just doing, like 2018 Juan Soto. He came in mid-season. They included him in that season. Well, he doesn't have that many rookie cards because of that.
But he's got pre-rookie cards.
Juan Soto, yeah, he has pre-rookie cards. Yeah.
Yeah. And so as a collecting rule, do you feel that one is a better collector, or are they just different categories?
I like to just look at them as different categories, and then each individual collector is going to have their own preference on which ones they like more. A lot of collectors like what I've deemed as pre-rookies or prospect or
Yep.
the first Bowman, right? The very popular, and I'm not
Absolutely.
saying that they're not awesome. They are awesome. But when we filter those cards through the system, when we filter those cards through hobby standards, long time hobby standing standards of rookie cards, those don't really qualify. Not that they're not good cards to own, because they definitely are, right?
Sure.
But as far as if we were to give them like a 5-star rating, right, you would have to deduct points because they don't feature the player in the rookie year of debut year. So that's kind of the lines of clarity that I like to draw.
So from a collecting standpoint, what you're really having to decide as somebody who's going to buy the card is what's important to you.
Yeah.
A lot of people like the major league uniform. Well, that's going to eliminate certain, pre-cards.
Mhm.
And I understand that I totally get is a logical thing. You want to see your player in your team's uniform. And that usually ends up, being either the rookie card or in some cases a second year um, card.
Right.
But that's a personal collecting preference.
Yeah.
Um, what do you personally? Do you have a preference?
I do. I like the player in full uniform. I
Okay.
like the rookie card logo. I like the cards that are featured in the year that the player debuted into the league. And I think in hindsight, when we look at the PA's guidelines, it was a logical solution, because if we know the history of the rookie card, there was a lot of gimmicks being done. There was a lot of confusion. There was a lot of frustration within the hobby, and the rules that they brought in are logical and they made sense. And so I stick more to the traditional rookie card with the rookie card logo and such.
How do you feel about the Tops patch, the first game patch?
Okay, yeah, that is that falls in line with that's an insert card.
Right.
And to me, that's a rookie year card, a fabulous card, but a true rookie it is not. It's a true rookie is based more off of a comes from a base set, not a hit that you get from an insert set. That sort of
It,
thing.
I think it is, though, the most aggressive move a card company or a players association has ever taken to acknowledge a debut.
Yeah. Oh, I love the concept. It's a wonderful card for sure.
Yeah.
Um, would love to own one or pull one. But
Sure. Yeah, if anybody has extras, we'll take them. That was not a criticism.
right, right. PO Box 1231.
So that's the whole thing. Like, and I think sometimes people get the message confused. Like you said, you listen to a couple episodes
Mhm,
before taking the whole message. Is we're categorizing. There's a system.
mhm.
Collect what you love. Just know what you're collecting.
Right,
Don't collect category A thinking it's B.
right,
Don't own category A and sell it as B.
right.
You know, and
Beautiful
I
said.
think I think that's where really the message is important. I mean, it's nice to organize, but if there wasn't a reason behind it, um, you'd just be chasing your tail all day.
Yeah,
But this really protects people, or just not protects them. It's more clarity, more definition.
right, right.
So in general, how do you approach? Are there certain cards that are tougher? Are there ones that you've really been torn on which way to go, or are there
Yeah.
ones
Yeah.
every year that you're just going to have to wrestle with?
Yeah, I've really the it's been challenging this year with the split up of the licenses and Fanatics and Panini, with the autographs especially. I get a lot of DMs or a lot of emails. People are really confused, especially this year.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to help people as much as I can with that through my content and or by answering their questions. It is a touchy situation that the hobby is in right now when it comes to the rookie card. But I'm hoping that all of that will be resolved here in the next year or two. Perhaps my biggest change that I feel that I get a lot of slack, especially from the older purist collectors, and that would be in the area of parallel rookie cards.
Yeah.
I feel that through my research and study that is the one area that I feel has evolved. And I fought that for a long time because I'm somewhat of a purist, but I could not deny what the hobby wanted and what the hobby's view was. And I can get people to agree about inserts and subsets. When it came to the parallel rookie card, I was getting a lot of resistance. And I fought that resistance for a couple of years. But it wasn't until I purchased a new vehicle that I kind of saw the light and I changed my stance on parallels.
So when you bought your Rolls Royce, how did that change your opinion?
Yeah, my wife and I we were shopping for a car, and uh, they brought us the base model, and I didn't like it. My wife loved it, and she wanted to pounce on the first one she saw. But I was like, no, 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 time out, time out. I don't like this car. I found the cars boring, to be honest with you. And it wasn't
Okay.
until they started, okay, well, how about this LT package or this active package? Or how about the sport package? And I was like,
I want
ooh,
your parallel.
that sport package. I fell in love with that sport package, and that's the one we purchased. But as they were detailing the car, I was sitting there waiting. It hit me. It dawned on me. This is no different than parallel rookie cards. When you look at the car, you know, the car body is the same, the powertrain is the same, everything's the same except the bells and whistles.
Yeah.
And it's no different with rookie cards, in my opinion.
Well, first of all, good on you for actually being open minded to changing your mind.
Yeah.
I haven't changed my mind in 46 years, so um, it's good to be open minded. I'm
Yeah.
trying to get there. Uh, but second of all, that's a great story, by the way.
Yeah.
I have not heard that one before, so I like that one. We were shopping for a car, so I accepted parallels.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense because if you have a base card, but you get out of 499 the same card,
Yeah.
you know, I hadn't thought about it until you brought it up, but I can see where the hobby would fight back on that.
Yeah.
Um, Especially when it's the same photo.
Yeah.
Now, are how do you feel about short prints, super short prints? Now we're putting alternate chicken heads on players, and um, do you count those as inserts?
No, it depends. A lot of it is an old timer dealer taught me this back in 1998, somewhere in that time. But I view those more as image variants. So when I'm looking at those and I'm filtering them through the identification process, for me, the way the system that I use is so long as the card back and the card number are the same, I just consider that an image variant. And I consider image variants as true rookie cards.
Okay,
And
interesting.
there's just a different image. The short print is that doesn't matter whether there's 1 or 1 million. That doesn't matter so long as it fully complies with the other standards. Um, but yeah, image variants, SPs, SSPs, that sort of thing. But now you do have a lot of SSPs that have a completely different back and completely different card numbers. And when that happens, those SPs turn into rookie year cards. And that's just how
Well,
that's just how it goes.
is it this year? And sorry, I've got a personal life that I've lost in the news in the last week or two.
Mm.
Are we on Goldback super short print somewhere? Did I see that? Um,
Gold,
somebody somebody's doing like a gold color on the super short prints to make it very obvious. I forget the set. Um, but
I'm not
according,
sure.
yeah, I'll find out which set it is. But according, like you said, if the back changes,
Not so much the color, but more
okay,
the content.
gotcha,
Yeah,
gotcha. That's why I was asking.
yeah.
Yeah. So getting back to like 80s and 90s Tiffany cards,
Ooh, that's a tough one.
that well,
That's a tough one.
we're not here for easy questions, Victor. I've got
Right.
other shit. Uh
Yeah,
I mean, seriously, something like that, or back when you used to have traded and updates.
right.
For us of the junk wax era.
For
You
me,
know,
I view the Tiffany's now, and this is after much consideration, much deliberation, and in the spirit of the hobby decides. That's also has to be taken under consideration. I'm viewing Tiffany's more as parallels. Now they don't really meet the distribution level, the distribution method, which is like my only area of contention with them. But for now, that's how I'm viewing the Tiffany's as parallels. And if I'm viewing them in that aspect through that lens, then they become true rookie cards. Um,
interesting.
yeah.
Now you mentioned distribution. Can you talk about what part of distribution makes something qualify?
Yeah, and that's a big because I wrote a big piece on this in the rookie card guidelines and best practices, which is a free resource that I offer. But distribution, when we look at distribution methods of old and new, we have to consider world evolution of the internet. And when we look at the statistics, especially in North America, right, there is a very large consensus. Everybody has access to the internet now. So that changes the landscape of distribution, especially in the ultra modern hobby. So now things need to be considered through that lens. And so it can become kind of challenging when you start looking at um, what do they call these cards on exclusives, like tops exclusives and that
Right.
sort of thing. I tend to believe I don't like cards that are, like Throwback Thursdays. Those to me are insert sets as opposed
Yes.
to Tops Now or the Tops Living set. Those are, to me, I consider those more like base sets. However, it's online only, it's on demand only, and some
Yep.
people are just totally against that, and some people are okay with that. So I guess it's one of them things where you have to have an understanding of the system that I've created, but then from there you can create your own system, right? And since we have a baseline foundation of understanding, we can use that to build our own system. And so with that, now you can use your own convictions or your own preferences to kind of lean whichever way you want to. But so long as we all have a clear understanding, lines of clarity, we can make more informed decisions, more informed purchases.
Speaking of that, I've noticed that ComC, to my knowledge, is the only site that actually does rookie identifiers.
Yeah.
First of all, do you know of any other site? And second of all, do you generally agree with their guidelines?
Yeah, I actually love the work that ComC has done. I've actually given them tons of kudos over the years. Uh, the only thing that I have is that they're not real consistent. It seems like when I go looking through there, to me, there's no foundation. There's no. It's like very inconsistent. It's like hit and miss. And so I don't know where they're coming from with it. And I ended up reaching out to ComC one time, and I emailed the person that is in charge of that. And I says, hey, what's the basis? What do you guys, how did this idea come about? And they basically responded that they basically did not invent that process. They got it from somewhere else, and they didn't know where. They
Oh,
but it's just something that they just adopted over the years. But when I look through there, number one, if you don't, if the card is not up for sale, you're not going to be able to see what the identifier is. And number two, it's somewhat inconsistent, not 100%, but the overall idea of what they've done is, to me, gold,
and, and
golden.
nobody else is doing it that I know of, right?
Nobody else is doing it besides me.
Well, yes, you and your empire of selling millions of cards a day.
Yeah, the Roman Empire. Yeah.
Right. That's funny. Um, that's really funny. So we're on the home stretch here. I guess I've asked people before for their elevator pitch on their business.
Mhm.
What's your elevator pitch on rookie cards? What's just the quick summary that somebody should know? If they say to you, how do I know, or what is a rookie card?
I think it's taking advantage of the free resource that I offer. You can find the link to it on any of my YouTube videos. There's a link to it. You can go to my website, truerookiecards.com. At the very top of the page, I offer you a free resource. You click on that and you can download the rookie card guidelines and best practices. And it's going to really give you a detailed explanation of how rookie card guidelines has evolved over time. The next thing, my elevator pitch is that, you know, I struggle with people um, over the age of 50 because I'm trying to convince them that it's not 1984 anymore.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, I struggle with the younger generation, and I'm trying to convince them that not all rookie cards are created equal.
Yeah.
And so it's one of them things where I'm trying to be that middleman to kind of bring lines of clarity and to convince people that the rookie card needs reform once again. It's something, the rookie card guidelines have always evolved up until here recently, post 2009. It seems like rookie card guidelines were either subtly or strategically, if I'm putting my tin cap on,
Yeah.
strategically, those guidelines have been forsaken. And so I'm trying to resurrect those guidelines. I'm trying to bring back clarity and to convince collectors that the rookie card needs reform once again. And that's kind of my 20-second elevator pitch.
Well, I love it. And, one of the things that I think, keep in mind is people kept asking Jefferson Burdick why he spent all this time cataloging stuff. And
Yeah.
Here we are, and it turns out it's relevant.
The
So,
guy was a genius, wasn't he?
exactly. So, I would just say, keep doing what you're doing, because I think in the long run, it's better for the hobby to have, some consistent, lanes on the road. And,
Yeah.
and that's the way I look at it. It's just, if we don't have the right lanes on the road, we drive into each other.
Exactly.
And so, just having some organization, like in that system, is fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Victor, thanks for joining me, buddy.
Hey, no problem, Danny. Anytime, man. Appreciate you having me on.
Yep. And guys, you can read Victor's writings at hobbynewsdaily.com. And once again, give your site True Rookie.
TrueRookieCards.com. Yes, sir. And on Hobby Hotline once a month at least.
Absolutely. And leave him very nice comments. He's a nice guy. So, all right, Victor, I will probably pick your brain again next year.
You got it, man.
And on the next release where everybody's gone crazy.
You got it.
All right. To everybody else, we'll see you on the next episode. Thank you very much.